Every night is performance. Cantonese merchants want banter and the right laugh at the right moment. Mandarin officials want deference and enough culture to make them feel they're visiting an artist, not a brothel. Foreign traders want the fantasy of a woman who exists only for them. Some want silence. You cannot refuse any of them. You perform enthusiasm regardless of how many times the partition screen has already slid open tonight. Multiple clients between sundown and dawn. The body learns to go somewhere else during the act. The mind follows eventually. By 20, the performance is automatic, but the cost is cumulative. The warmth you perform for clients is warmth you no longer have for yourself. Still Mama Song's property. Higher earnings mean higher costs added to the ledger. More profitable merchandise is more expensive to maintain. That's how the math works on this boat. At 18, an American cotton merchant boards for the first time, younger than most. On his third visit, he brings an English silver-backed mirror. No client has ever brought a personal gift before. You keep it on your shelf where you can see it first thing every morning. It is the first object on this boat that you think of as yours, even though you know Mama Sang will keep it if you die. The sound of the partition screen sliding open. It means the next one is here. You hear it in your sleep on the nights when there are no clients, and your body still tenses. At 20, the American starts asking questions about your life before the boat. Where did you grow up? What did your family fish for? What the river looked like from the fishing sampan? A man asking where you came from is imagining a future that includes you. You let yourself believe it. You count money in Tonka dialect inside your head while speaking Cantonese aloud to a client who thinks you're paying attention. Your own language. Unheard by anyone, the only private space you have left. Bu tells you about the girl from Sham Shui Po. Foreign merchants kept woman, installed in a house near Shamian Island. A house on actual shore, not a boat. Bu tells it like a fairy tale. You listen like one. At 22, word comes through the interpreter network. A girl from the East River quarter boats was installed in a house near Shamian Island by a merchant from the Americans Trading Company. Not a rumor this time. A fact. You know 3 such arrangements now. It happens. Not to most. But it happens. And the American has been visiting for 4 years. He just extended his trading contract. A man putting down roots sometimes formalizes arrangements. He has never made a specific promise. His visits are irregular. He's a businessman visiting a port city, not a romantic pursuing a future. But he brought soap last week. He sat with you for 2 hours, longer than any client sits unless they're buying something more than time. The math still works. You let yourself believe it. You're 23 below deck, applying fen in the American's mirror when the sound starts. Not river traffic, not neighboring boats' music. Something lower. Something that shakes the water underneath the planking and rattles the jade pins on the shelf. British warships have entered the Pearl River. Cannon fire hits the waterfront. The boats scatter upriver in chaos. The foreign trading factories on Shamian Island burn. Black smoke rolls across the water for days. For weeks the river is confusion. Military vessels, scattered trade, rumors moving faster than cargo. Then word arrives through the interpreter network, delivered by a Macanese translator who has no reason to care about any specific boat girl's arrangements. Mr. Thomas has returned to Boston. The foreign client trade that supported your premium tier collapses overnight. The American is gone. He left Canton the way you leave a city, not the way you leave a person. No forwarding address to any specific boat. No message. No arrangement. The future you'd been building in the gaps between his visits. The house on shore. The formal arrangement. The word that meant he saw you the way you saw yourself. It required him to be thinking about a future that included you. He was here for business. You were a product he could access during business trips. The war didn't take anything from you. There was nothing to take. You just now know that. The mirror stays on your shelf. It is now just a mirror. Every gift he brought was a client bringing a gift, not a man building a future. You read it as the latter because you needed to. Lower deck room, smaller, closer to the bilge. The foreign trade has not recovered, and Mama Sang has recalculated your position on the boat. Your body has been keeping account since you were 13. At 25, it starts presenting the bill. Hands shake by mid-morning without the pipe. The dose has escalated past functional maintenance and into something that takes more than it gives. The fine motor control you needed for PIPA, those 4-hour practice sessions that split your fingertips at 13, that control is gone by 26. Your gums bleed when you eat anything cold. 10 years of fen have turned the skin underneath waxy and thin, a different texture from the face you arrived with. The joints in your hips and knees protest the stairs between decks. River damp accumulates in bones that were soaking in it since childhood. A client requests music. You pick up the pipa. Your fingers miss the strings. The tremor is visible. He watches your hands, not your face. He doesn't request music again. Mama Sang stops listing pipa among your skills when describing you to new clients. One less thing to offer. One more reason the rate drops. New tanka girls arrive. 14. 15. Recently purchased from the same riverbank. The same gray dawn. The same transaction. You recognize the face they arrive with. You wore it at 13. You don't tell them about the pipe. The men who visit now don't bring gifts. They don't stay for conversation. They don't ask your name. Shorter visits. The partition screen slides open and closed, and the men on the other side are interchangeable. The four-language warmth costs more energy than it earns. The pipe costs the same, but your earnings have halved. At 28, Biu dies. 21 years on the boat. The pipe took the last 2 years in pieces. At the end, she was trying to remember the name of a dish her mother cooked. She couldn't hold the memory long enough to say it. Nobody else on the boat knew she was your friend. You watched Biu go this way. You understood exactly how the arithmetic works. Now it is your watch. At 31, fever. It comes with the river damp and doesn't leave. Complicated by the pipe, by venereal disease that was never treated, by malnutrition that has been accumulating since the rice and fish diet became your only diet 18 years ago. Mama Sang stands in the doorway and you can see her performing a calculation. Physician fee against remaining earnings. The number she arrives at is not the number that includes a physician. 18 years. Entry age 13. Peak status. Your own client list. An English mirror. The closest thing to a patron you will ever have. End status. A line in Mama Sang's debt ledger that finally closes out. They wrap you in bamboo deck matting. Slide you into the Pearl River at night. The same river you watched from every porthole for 18 years. The same river Biu told you was all there is. No grave. No marker. No record. No family notified. No one on shore who would recognize your face. The American's mirror is still in the room. Mama Sang keeps it. She keeps everything. The river takes you the way it takes everything thrown into it. Quietly. Without ceremony. Without record. At least on the flower boat, you could see the shore from your room. In the Qing Imperial Palace, the ceilings were painted gold and the walls were marble, and they still didn't find her body for 3 days.